I'm here with Penelope Kyle, our president. And how do you feel the forum went today?
I think that every question that was proposed about the budget was great. You know, I had advertised this as a budget open forum so that I could answer any questions that people might have about this 15% budget reduction and the stimulus funds and all of that. Every question that we got on the budget was excellent. We answered them. I think people left with a better understanding of how we got to where we are and what we need to do. Obviously, there were answers that we could not provide yet. We don't have the federal guidelines for how we can spend the stimulus money, and we don't know what the Board of Visitors might determine about tuition increases. But other than those two unknowns, everything else that we knew or that we had discussed, if they asked the question, it was answered, and I think they should have left with a whole lot more knowledge than they had about the budget itself and the budget process.
What did you feel about, or how did you feel about the student turnout and like the reaction by the students?
I didn't, and I could have been wrong. It didn't seem like the students had come for the budget issues. And maybe they had. We did get that one very good question. How could students get involved in the budget process? And just a second ago, I've already met with Dean Cotton, and starting tomorrow, we're going to begin talks about how we can set up some way that students can participate in the budget process. It's probably going to be people that like to work with numbers, but I think that'd be great to have a student involvement. It seemed, though, that most of the students came because they wanted to talk about the program review process. I'm not part of that, and I did not schedule this session for that, and I think maybe they were disappointed that they couldn't get their questions answered about the program review process.
Is there going to be an open forum for that?
The provost said that he would be glad to have of course this was earlier in the session today, but the provost said that he would set up an open forum to take questions about the program review process, but that would be up to the provost office and to the folks in academic affairs.
How do you think your relationship with the student body is right now? I mean, like, some of the students outside did not seem happy. I mean, is there?
Well, but this is a small cross section of students. I mean, I think the students. And I don't know this, but I'm assuming that the majority of the students who came today are probably enrolled in the programs that are under review, and so it was touching close to home with them, and that's why they were upset. I assume that. I don't know that. But no, I mean, we have 8,356 students on campus, and we certainly didn't have 8,356 students here. The students that I saw at Greensboro last Thursday at the basketball game seemed extraordinarily pleased with their relationship with their university, proud of that basketball team, and I didn't hear any complaints down there except compliments from all of the Carolina folks about how we showed up, how we behaved ourselves as fans, and how we supported our team.
That's great.
We have gotten emails from Carolina alums since I've been back. I've gotten emails to the president's email telling us that they were totally blown away by how many Radford fans made the trip and how they supported their alma mater, in some cases with the alumni and their institution, with the students. If you, I don't know, I didn't see it on television, but if you could have looked, if you had gotten behind the team's bench and looked back across the Greensboro Coliseum, there was a swath of bright red rising up through the entire Coliseum of students and faculty and staff and alumni yelling and holding signs.
Oh, wow.
It was a sight to see.
Yeah, I actually heard that. I watched the game on TV on CBS, and there was a lack of, showing anything Radford, which is sad.
Well, but when you're playing Carolina, that's what even Tech was complaining when they played Carolina that the cameras never went on them. So that's just the way it is when you're playing Carolina. But in exiting the Coliseum, our students on their own started a chant in front of all the Carolina fans, "See you next year, see you next year." And the whole place was rocking to that chant, and the Carolina people were actually smiling and thanking us for being the fans that we were. So do I think today epitomizes our student body entirely? No, I don't.
All right. Well,